Hey, welcome to the channel. If you like stories where humanity refuses to kneel, subscribe and stay with us. Let's begin. In the vast silence of the cosmos where stars whispered secrets to no one, the Zelthar Dominion descended upon Terra Nova like gods casting judgment. Their ships blotted out the sun, sleek obsidian hulls humming with energy weapons that could vaporize mountains. The aliens, tall, chitin-armored warriors with eyes like fractured obsidian, laughed in their guttural tongue. These humans, their overlord sneered across the fleet's comms, are but insects scrambling before the boot. Fragile, primitive. They break once, and stay broken. But on the ground, Sergeant Elias Kane crouched in the ruins of what was once a thriving colony. His face was a map of scars, each one a story of survival he never told. Blood trickled from a fresh wound on his temple, but his eyes burned with a quiet fire. Around him, the remnants of his squad, humans and a handful of uneasy allies from the fractured Galactic coalition, huddled in the shadow of a shattered bunker. The air reeked of ozone and charred flesh. "They're coming," whispered Lyra, a slender Vixari diplomat turned reluctant fighter. Her iridescent scales flickered with fear. She had joined the humans out of political necessity, her species council seeing Terra Nova as a buffer against Zelthar expansion. But now doubt gnawed at her. "Your kind? You bleed too easily. Why fight when surrender buys time?" Kane didn't answer. He checked his rifle, the last charge flickering low. Time. That's what the aliens didn't understand. Humans didn't buy it, they stole it from the jaws of death. The assault began at dawn. Zelthar drop pods screamed through the atmosphere, slamming into the earth like meteors. Warriors poured out, their plasma blades igniting with a hiss. They moved with predatory grace, mowing down defenders in waves. A human soldier screamed as a blade cleaved through his armor, his body crumpling in a spray of red. The aliens advanced, mocking in their victory chants. "See how they fall. The dead stay dead here." Kane's squad held the line in a narrow canyon, rock slick with rain and blood. He signaled silently, "Flanks, suppress, hold." A Zelthar charged him, towering twice his height, mandibles clicking in amusement. "Weakling," it hissed, swinging its blade. Kane dodged, the edge grazing his side, pain exploding like fire. He fired point blank, the round punching through chitin. The alien staggered, surprise in its eyes. But more came. Wave after wave. Lyra fired her pulse pistol, her shots precise but her hands shaking. "This is madness. Your strategies are desperate gambles." "Not desperate," Kane grunted, reloading amid the chaos. "Calculated." He tossed a grenade into a cluster of advancing foes, the explosion ripping through their ranks. Shrapnel tore into his leg, but he pushed forward, dragging a wounded comrade to cover. The man gasped. "Sarge, leave me." "No one stays dead if I can help it," Kane muttered, binding the wound with grim efficiency. From the Zelthar command ship, Overlord Vex watched the feeds, his amusement fading. These humans, they should be routing. Yet pockets of resistance flared like stubborn embers. "Crush them utterly," he commanded. "Let no spark remain." The battle intensified. Kane's position was overrun. Allies fell. A burly Krogan mercenary, grudgingly respectful of human tenacity, roared as he was impaled. Lyra screamed, pinned under debris. Kane fought like a demon, his body a vessel of rage and will. A plasma bolt seared his arm, but he kept moving, kept firing. In the quiet moments between blasts, doubt crept in. Kane remembered Earth, lost decades ago to a similar invasion. The grief fueled him, turned pain into precision. He rigged a trap with scavenged Zelthar tech, luring a squad into an ambush. Explosions lit the canyon, bodies flying, but the cost mounted. His vision blurred from blood loss. Lyra Freed stared at him in awe and horror. "How do you endure this? Your flesh tears so easily." Kane wiped sweat from his eyes. "Because stopping means they win." He spotted movement, a Zelthar scout slipping away, carrying intel. If it escaped, the ground trembled. From the depths of Terra Nova's crust, something ancient stirred. Ruins of a forgotten civilization, buried eons ago, hummed to life. Neutral horrors, biomechanical guardians, twisted fusions of flesh and machine awoke, drawn by the violence. Tentacles of living metal lashed out, impaling Zelthar and human alike. Chaos erupted. Kane grabbed Lyra, pulling her into a crevice as the guardians rampaged. "What madness is this?" she gasped. Kane's jaw tightened. The aliens had awakened something worse than war. And in the distance, Overlord Vex's ship hovered, unaware of the storm brewing below. But as the guardians closed in, a Zelthar warrior rose from the debris, its eyes locking on Kane. Not with arrogance, but with the first flicker of fear. The guardians tore through the battlefield like nightmares given form. Coils of biomechanical horror. Relics from a long-extinct race lashed out indiscriminately. A Zelthar squad vaporized in seconds, their screams echoing into static. Kane pressed against the crevice wall, breath ragged, Lyra trembling beside him. "Your world hides monsters," she whispered, her voice laced with accusation. "Not our monsters," Kane replied quietly. "But we'll use them." His mind raced, tactical overlays in his augmented HUD mapping escape routes, weak points. Pain throbbed in his wounds, a constant reminder of fragility. But humans turned reminders into resolve. Above, Overlord Vex slammed a fist on his console. "What sorcery is this?" Scans showed the guardians multiplying, feeding on the energy of the conflict. His fleet held position, but unease rippled through the ranks. Humans were supposed to be easy prey. Yet here they were, surviving amid chaos that should have ended them. Kane emerged cautiously, signaling to scattered survivors. A human private, face ashen, joined him. "Sarge, the Coalition's pulling back. They say we're done. We're not." Kane's voice was steel. He spotted a downed Zelthar dropship, its systems intact. Risky but necessary. With Lyra's help, her technical knowledge bridging the gap, they hot-wired it, engines sputtering to life amid the Guardian's roars. The ship lifted, dodging tentacles that smashed nearby rocks. From the cockpit, Kane saw the devastation. Bodies strewn alien and human, the ground cracked open like wounds. But in the midst of it, pockets of resistance. Humans rising from the dirt, weapons in hand. Defiant, Lyra monitored comms. "The Coalition fractures. My people whisper of betrayal. Abandoning you to buy peace with the Zelthar." Kane's grip tightened on the controls. Politics. Always the hidden blade. Let them whisper. We'll roar. They rendezvoused with a hidden outpost, a ragtag alliance. More humans, a few loyal Vexari, and a grizzled Tholian engineer harboring grudges against the Dominion. Tension simmered. The Tholian Zorak eyed Kane suspiciously. "Your kind brings death wherever you go. Why ally with walking corpses?" "Because corpses don't fear the grave," Kane said flatly. He outlined a plan, strike the Zelthar fleet's weak point. A command relay exposed by the Guardian's upheaval. Audacious, suicidal. But the fire in his eyes pulled them in. As night fell, the assault began. Infiltrating under cover of the Guardian's distraction, Kane's team boarded a Zelthar cruiser. Halls echoed with alarms, patrols clashing in brutal close quarters. Kane moved like a shadow, knife flashing, silencing guards. Blood, his and theirs, slicked the floors. A confrontation in the engineering bay. Vex's elite guard, armored behemoths, barred the way. "You dare?" One bellowed, charging. Kane parried, pain igniting his veins. He fought dirty. Eye gouges, improvised explosives from scavenged parts. One guard fell, then another. Lyra covered him, her shots true. But Zorak hesitated, a flicker of doubt. "This alliance, it costs too much." "Cost is relative," Kane growled, slamming a charge into the relay. Explosions rocked the ship. From the bridge, Vex watched his fleet falter, shields dropping. "Impossible," he murmured. "These humans, they defied logic. Pain should break them. Death should claim them." Yet they persisted, turning suffering into strategy. Evacuating, Kane's team fled through venting corridors. A Guardian tendril breached the hull, snaring Zorak. He screamed as it dragged him away. Betrayal or accident? Lyra's eyes widened. He was going to sabotage us. Kane said nothing, pushing forward. The cruiser listed debris raining. They escaped in a pod hurtling toward Terra Nova. But as they landed, scans lit up. Vex's personal flagship descended, weapons priming. The Overlord's voice boomed across the planet. You think endurance wins wars? I will teach you oblivion. Kane stood amid the ruins, allies gathering. The Guardian stirred anew, drawn to the escalating threat. Lyra touched his arm. Alliance forged in fire. What now? Kane stared at the sky, resolve unbreakable. Everyone else saw weakness. Humanity saw a reason to fight harder.